Hello everybody, today I'm shooting this video to explain my support for Donald Trump. I have some very serious concerns about Hillary Clinton and how her conduct and her overall character could affect our country. Hillary Clinton has shown such poor judgment and utter wanton disregard for even her own self-preservation that she is basically totally unfit to be president of the United States. We'll start with the Bill Clinton scandals. In the 1990s, Hillary Clinton knew, or should have known, that her husband was a sex addict and even a possible rapist. After all, she's going after these women that the husband has fooled with. Obviously, leaving a daughter, a minor girl, in the household with a sex addict at best, a rapist at worst, puts that child at an extremely high risk of being abused physically, mentally, or sexually. Enough said. We all know what sex addicts do to kids. Another incident involved her cursing out a Secret Service agent who happened to have a canine dog, and directing the curse at the handler of the dog. Now, we all know that if you encounter an animal like that, a large attack type dog, that you do not verbally or physically attack the owner of that animal, just in terms of protecting yourself. I mean, this is common sense. I mean, Hillary Clinton doesn't like to get caught by other people, but she has a wanton disregard for her own self-preservation when it comes to her own conduct. Even take the email server, for example. The recent information that came out on the television said, the press is reporting that there is a 99% chance that 5 different countries hacked her email server. Hillary is lucky to have been hacked. Suppose these other countries or paramilitary groups or terrorist groups didn't quite have the acumen or the talent to remotely hack into the server. Now, she has this illegal private server in her house. Doesn't tell anybody about it, even the Secret Service agents that are there to protect her. She's lucky that Al-Qaeda didn't kick her door in, shoot everybody in that house, and run off with that damn server. Because you have information that's special access only, that's top secret only. That stuff is worth its weight in gold. 100-fold more than its weight in gold to the right or the wrong people. And heck, I mean, a group like that could even break a window, toss a nerve gas canister in there, wipe out everybody, and come in and get that server. This is one of those cases where, when law enforcement intervenes, the criminal benefits because law enforcement ends up saving the life of the criminal due to them being so self-destructive and so out of control that sooner or later they're going to get themselves hurt. Hillary Clinton's life was actually saved by the FBI, who seized and took away that server. And even the way that the data was deleted shows an amateurish expert. Even take her losing $6 billion at the State Department. Not a surprise. If you look at BleachBit, that's a free open source program. You can download BleachBit for free. It cost absolutely nothing. Hillary Clinton, for all that's reported, paid a fortune for a program that was absolutely free, and then had an IT guy who couldn't even use it properly. Leaves information, according to Comey in July 5th, leaves information in the Slack file, in the swap file. BleachBit has an option that you check. It's a box that you check when you're wiping a hard drive that will specifically wipe out the contents of a swap file. You can delete the entire file system and wipe the drive and do a free space wipe, or if you preserve that file system, you can wipe that swap file and get rid of everything on it. Whoever her IT person is a total idiot for not doing this. In fact, the way this thing was deleted shows that an amateur who maybe spent a week on the internet reading about it did that deletion herself. That means either Hillary Clinton did it herself or maybe Huma Abedin or somebody like that. The other problem is, again, Hillary Clinton. You look at the peer group. You can judge people by the company they keep. She goes to the Senate. Well, even before the Senate, she has a sex addict husband, a brother-in-law, Roger Clinton, who's a drug-addicted drug dealer. She goes to the Senate. Who does she get to mentor her? One of the longest-running Klansmen to serve in the Senate, Robert Byrd. Who else does she hang around? Husband, sex addict. Huma Abedin. She has ties to the Muslim Brotherhood, and many have felt that she even subscribes to the 9/11 truther philosophy, which is kind of similar to Holocaust denial, except it concerns, denying that Muslims flew the planes into the buildings and saying that George Bush did it himself with holograms and the TV and everything else. It's just sheer lunacy. Anthony Weiner, another sex fiend, another sex offender, who has a Muslim Brotherhood 9/11 truther friend, married to a husband, a sex offender, hired by a Klansman for her job. Who the hell has friends like that? You'd have to be crazy to hang around that kind of group. Would you want your kid, your son, your daughter hanging around those kind of people? Really? Enough said. In addition to this, Hillary Clinton has a persistent ability to not get along with anybody. She tells Vladimir Putin he doesn't have a soul. To Slavic people, the Slavic soul concept is a sacred concept. Telling somebody they don't have a soul, that's like calling a black person the N-word or anything else. I mean, that's just something you just don't do. Again, totally ignorant of that culture. And she says she's going to represent us. Really? Then she's going to go into Syria, start a shooting war, with these Syrian rebels who are basically ISIS against Bashar al-Assad. She's going to see, people don't understand, Syria basically doesn't have fighter planes. Russia has fighter planes. You shoot down those planes, you've got yourself a shooting war in Russia. And speaking of protecting girls, by the way, she wants to draft your daughters too. Yeah, that's the goal of feminism. Really, almost the end goal of feminism. Twice as many wrong bodies, twice as much cannon fodder, twice as many slaves, twice as many people to work to death and exploit. Feminists have their way. Women won't live any longer than men do. Enough said on that point. Donald Trump's a far, far better candidate. You have to look at, despite the trash talking and the rock star lifestyle and the groupies that he talks about, look at what people actually spend their money on. Donald Trump and his companies has a majority of female executives, and he pays them the same as the men. By the way, the Clinton Foundation is overwhelmingly male, and the men are paid more. Not surprised, since the husband's a sexist, a pig, and a sex offender. Trump favors gun owners. Trump is protecting people that have been targeted by these Muslim extremists. I mean, if you're an atheist, if you're a gay person, if you're a porn star, if you're a woman, if you're a stripper, if you're a Christian, if you consume liquor, if you say you're a pagan or into witchcraft or Satanism or anything like that, guess what? ISIS wants you dead. They want to crucify you, chop your head off with a dull knife, which is not quick, not the way the Saudis kill you. They just decapitate you with a sword. It's very quick. It's probably more humane than the way we execute people with lethal injection. And no. ISIS doesn't do it that way. If you're in any of these groups, even a gun or weapon owner that isn't Muslim, or even the wrong kind of Muslim, say if you're a Sufi, or somebody like that, They want you gone. You should obviously be in favor of not having anybody come into the country unless you know what the hell is going on, who they are, what their intentions are, whether they can successfully integrate in that country, and essentially pass an ideological test. This is common sense. Trump is a businessman. America is a secular capitalist country. It's not a theocracy. It's not a communist state, nor should it be. You don't want to have a country go down those directions. Theocracies are broke, backward, and barbaric. Communist, socialist countries, the same way. To the degree that socialism has infected the system, that society becomes dysfunctional. We need somebody who can fix the economy. Gasoline that costs $1 a gallon, 50 state gun rights, you have a permit or a license you can carry anywhere in the country. Lower taxes, high economic growth. Those are things everybody can agree on. Yes, Trump has lived that rock star lifestyle. Kind of like Jay-Z and Beyonce and other people that, oh, by the way, the Obamas let their daughters listen to and attend concerts therein. Therefore, Trump has said some things, then, has had some faux pas and so on. Talking trash doesn't disqualify a person from being a candidate. Depriving, say, people at the Libyan consulate in Benghazi for security that they need. I mean, you have a country that's run itself $20 trillion in debt. Surely you could afford to throw some money at basic security. On September 11th, in a country overrun by terrorists, I guess Hillary didn't do that. The other problem with Hillary's criminal conduct, it's not just limited to the perjury and the emails. Overseas, attacking a country like Libya, a country that hasn't really done anything to harm us since the 1980s, basically since Reagan dropped a bomb in Gaddafi's backyard from a fighter plane, a country that has gotten rid of its weapons of mass destruction, that was actually doing a productive service trying to get an African currency and so on and so on. Attacking a country that has done nothing wrong is a war crime. Hillary Clinton could end up legally in a jail cell right beside Slobodan Milosevic. That's what happens when you attack countries that don't do harm to you, and those countries degenerate into anarchy and thousands of people die. That's what happens. Even in Syria, you unleash ISIS, you create a power vacuum. Well, this leads to Assad having to resort to using weapons of mass destruction when he was on the ropes, having to use nerve gas, and so on. That release would never have occurred if Hillary Clinton's policies and Barack Obama's policies and her State Department policies didn't create this void. And by the way, Obama, he didn't really even want to go into Libya. But Hillary Clinton, as Secretary of State, instigated him into doing that. So, you're voting for this sociopath. You're crazy. You ever see that movie Eyes Wide Shut, where there are those people behind the scenes and those kind of rich degenerates that run everything? That's the Clinton Foundation. That's really who you're voting for with Hillary Clinton. She's just their tool. She's just their mouthpiece. Even if she experienced some sort of conversion and wanted to do the right thing, she can't. Because she's owned by somebody. See, it's far better to vote for somebody who signs the front of a check than somebody who can only sign the back of a check. I mean, you're looking at somebody who, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton are not much higher than Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton gets on a table and dances around and entertains people. Doesn't know how to build anything. That's what she does. Bill Clinton, Hillary, what are they doing? Speaking, making speeches, taking bribes. At best, they are mere entertainers. They can't build anything. At best. And most likely what they're into is far, far worse. So support Donald Trump. Keep stumping for Trump. Make America great again. Make America safe again. And, look outside of the traditional Republican mold. It's okay to have blacks vote for you. It's okay to ask gays to vote for you. The thing about Trump that I like is he believes that every politician should ask for every American's vote and not just these demographic categories. That's the way it is. That's why Democrats have had an advantage. Trump's going to take that away from them. Anyway, thank you very much. This is White Lightning 777 signing off.